This is Dale Williams, who has just been sentenced after admitting to running his ex-girlfriend off the road and then fatally shooting her. She was a dedicated mother, and her two distraught sons were present in the courtroom to witness the sentencing. In a tense moment captured in the courtroom, 30-year-old Anthony D. is seen sliding aggressively over the table towards Williams, while 23-year-old Jerome Stewart maneuvers around the side. In a dramatic turn, Anthony grabs hold of Williams by the leg, signaling the peak of the family's frustration and sorrow. Originally postponed, Williams's sentencing eventually proceeded, leading to a sentence of 23 years to life in prison. Additionally, the judge handed down a 30-day jail sentence to both sons for assault, contempt of court, and obstructing official business, highlighting the tumultuous nature of the court proceedings. This is Tristan Lamoureux, who confessed to the grim act of shooting and killing his wife. At his sentencing, the emotional weight of the courtroom intensified as the victim's brother delivered a victim impact statement, maintaining unwavering eye contact with Lamoureux, the man responsible for his sister's death. The brother's immediate removal from the courtroom underscored the high tensions and the strict decorum enforced in such settings. Lamoureux was ultimately sentenced to 15 years to life in prison, a somber conclusion to a series of distressing courtroom dramas that reflect the profound and often tragic complexities of human relationships and criminal justice. This is Michael Madison, now recognized as a convicted serial killer from East Cleveland, Ohio. Known for his chilling crimes against at least 3 women, Madison's demeanor during his sentencing was equally unnerving. Van Terry, the father of one of Madison's 18-year-old victims, stood up to deliver a victim impact statement. In a moment fraught with emotion, as Terry stared down Madison, the killer reportedly responded with a provoking smile. Despite the charged atmosphere, Terry was released without charges, and in 2016, Madison was condemned to death, currently awaiting his fate on death row. This is Larry Nassar, a former osteopathic physician and once trusted team doctor for the United States women's national gymnastics team, who exploited his position to abuse hundreds of girls and young women over 18 years. His heinous actions have devastated countless lives, including those of his victims and their families. During a particularly intense court session, a distraught father of one of the victims implored the judge to allow him 5 minutes alone with Nassar to express his agony and anger, a request that was, of course, denied in line with legal protocols. Nassar's subsequent sentencing to 40 to 175 years in prison after a separate 60-year sentence ensures he will likely spend the rest of his life behind bars, serving what amounts to an effective life sentence. This is Jason Howard, who finds himself in court related to a separate murder charge. However, 5 months prior, the community was shocked by the gruesome discovery of his ex-girlfriend and 3 children dead in their home. Howard quickly became the sole person of interest in the investigations that followed. During a police interview, he professed his innocence, claiming he was a protector and provider who tragically wasn't there when his family needed him most. He expressed a haunting preference to have died alongside them. Despite these claims, he remains the primary suspect in the unresolved case of his ex-girlfriend and children's deaths, which continues to haunt all involved. The ex-girlfriend's brother and cousin, both charged with assault during a courtroom outburst, fervently believe Howard is responsible for the tragedy. This is Clifford Thomas, involved in a tragic case concerning the death of his partner's 3-year-old child, which was later determined to be a homicide caused by multiple blunt force injuries. The courtroom was a site of profound grief as the child's biological father, Dwayne Smith, prepared to confront Thomas with a victim impact statement during the sentencing phase. Thomas faced a sentence ranging from 57 months to 15 years for involuntary manslaughter, alongside additional time for resisting and obstructing a police officer. Meanwhile, another individual, Gordon, received a sentence of 7 to 15 years for involuntary manslaughter, coupled with 14 to 25 years for first-degree child abuse. In a solemn decision, the judge chose not to hold Smith in contempt of court despite the charged atmosphere.